What up, Fly Gang? It's your favorite YouTuber, Ginger Don. Thank y'all for stopping back with the Fly Trap. Today we got a video of people that don't have an inner monologue.
What?
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 I have, but I didn't know it was people that didn't have. They say 50% of the world do not obtain an inner monologue. So we gonna get into this video for learning purposes, entertainment purposes only. So without further ado, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can drop the video right here on time with me. Let's go.
If your answer to those two questions were yes, then congratulations, you have an internal monologue or inner voice, at least some of the time, a silent production of words in one's mind. Why do some people have inner speech? Well, we don't really know. There's a theory that it helps us simulate or process thoughts or actions before we actually carry them out. Why do some people not even have an inner voice? Again, we don't know. One of the many mysteries of the mind. If you don't have an inner voice, there's a good chance you experience images, emotions, and sensations instead. For example, deaf people tend to experience their inner voice visually. Instead of hearing an inner voice, their inner language might be visualizing lip movements or hand signs.
I literally can't stop thinking about how some people literally have a voice inside of their head. I don't have an inner monologue, and I literally cannot see anything in my mind's eye. If you told me to think of an apple right now and I closed my eyes, I literally would quite literally see blackness. When I read a book, the words just somehow, I just comprehend them, but there's no voice. When I'm thinking of a memory, like I literally can't see it, I don't know how, I just remember it. And I honestly didn't know that anyone could think in a different way until like a year ago. Like I literally thought the voice in your head thing was like just on TV. And I don't think I've ever met anyone that is in the same boat as me. So if you can relate, please comment below so I don't feel like a freak.
That's crazy.
Do you have an inner monologue? Like, can you hear the voices in your head when you think?
No,
Really?
I have thoughts, but I'm not hearing my voice.
What do you mean exactly?
What are you saying in your head? Are you saying anything? Are you hearing your words?
I'm hearing my voice saying I'm reading this
When
sentence.
you read a book, what are you thinking about?
I'm playing like as if like it's happening.
Setting the
Yeah.
scene. You're
Like,
visualizing it.
I might use random person in my head, or like maybe if I've seen something in a movie and use an
I hear
actor.
my voice all the time, but mostly I hear music.
All the time, and it sucks. Inner monologue, it entertains. I feel like without that, everything would be so quiet.
I think it would be too much.
Do you have an inner monologue?
Absolutely. I just had this conversation with my roommate. He says that he sees everything visually and that like he experiences it just as it happens. And I say, well, no, I have a dialogue. I actually have a voice in my head.
Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I'll probably try to listen out for my voice more.
Well, I don't know. That's interesting. For me personally, mine, I could hear my own voice in my head. I could see visual pictures. I could actually like daydream and go into a vivid view of what my brain is visualizing. I could actually change the voice in my head from my voice into whatever voice I want it to be. I could hear noises like I could create, like I could hear, if I wanted to hear a horn in my head, I could make a horn noise in my head, rumbles, all that. I could do all that inside my mind. So drop it down in a comment if you couldn't do the same thing, because that's interesting. I thought that was a normal thing. I really thought that was normal for everybody. So let's go.
You guys, oh my God, watch this.
I have a huge warning for anyone operating in this world right now. There are certain people in this world who are very, very dangerous. And I'm getting ready to give you a kind of a way to vet these people so you understand that these people don't have a conscience. They don't have anything going on in their head, so they are capable of anything. You need to ask the people around you if they have an inner monologue, meaning, do they have a voice of discernment? Do they have a voice in their head that tells them right from wrong, or, just something to bounce off of while they are going throughout their day? If they don't, the ones that do not have a inner monologue, these people are very dangerous. That means that they don't have a conscience. So some of the most nefarious and wicked people in the world are the ones whose minds are blank. So anybody around you, you need to ask him, hey, do you have a voice inside of your head that, a voice of reasoning, a voice that tells you right from wrong? If they tell you no, be very aware of that person. All I can tell you is that person is capable of anything, and not in a good way. in a bad way. So be careful out there. Peace and love, and deuces.
No, I can't just totally agree with that because it's people that hear voices in their head and fuck crazy, you feel me? And will do some real harm to you. So just because you don't have an inner monologue don't necessarily mean that you're a nefarious type of person. You feel me? But I wonder, is there ever been a study on like psychopaths? Do they have inner monologues, or you know? Tell me what you think down in the comments. Drop it down in the comments.
I do not experience an inner monologue, and that's the same as a lot of other people. And so when you, as someone with an inner monologue, label us NPCs or non-monos, you're actually engaging in a form of hate. Now you might ask, well, what goes on in your head? How do you think? That's a bit weird. But I would argue that those of you who do have inner monologues are the weird ones, and I find it a little bit creepy. You know, what are you thinking? What are you planning? What's going on in your head? Why is that happening? Because the truth is that I go about my life in a perfectly normal way. And when I need to form an opinion, I go to a trusted news site, and depending on how I'm feeling, I will take that opinion based on facts, and that will become my own. And so to those of you labeling us and demeaning us and making out that we're less than you, I would point out that we are in fact the majority, and you should think about who you're picking a fight with.
It has come to my attention that half of the population does not have an inner monologue. And people are starting to wake up to them not having an inner monologue.
And he's not kidding either. I want you to check out Lil Bro's video. I've met people like this. Now I want you to hear her video and what she thinks about people who actually have a voice in their head, and what happens to her, y'all. Check it out.
Hi, I'm Olivia Rivera, and I don't have an internal monologue. This is something that's kind of been going around the internet lately. If you've seen it, some people have an internal dialogue or an internal monologue where it's more of a constant stream of thoughts. I, on the reverse hand, feel that my thought process is more like sporadic or random jot notes. It's not my voice talking all the time, and it's more like I'm just seeing lines of thought, and maybe they have voices associated to them or tones associated to them, but not necessarily my voice. If you're typing something on a computer and the lines are just kind of like appearing on the screen, I think that's kind of how my brain works, and that's why jot notes feel like the best way to describe it.
That's kind of NPC-ish though, bro. You feel me? I don't know. What y'all think about that?
I hear that other people have like a constant kind of dialogue and stream in their head, and that when they're doing a task, they'll just be thinking about things the entire time they're doing a task. It actually kind of feels a little overwhelming. Like how do you deal with that, and how does that feel?
So, in other words, they can't even multitask, right? Because to multitask, you would have to, have an inner monologue and visualize things, right? What y'all think?
I always thought it was something that people just manifested and made up for movies and books and characters, just to kind of like explain your inner thought process and like have like a way to explain your inner thought process. But I didn't realize that it was actually that constant for people, that people did actually have a little kind of voice in their head telling them different things and what to do and what to think and stuff like that. I don't have that. Sometimes I will just speak it out loud. I find that, especially when I'm alone, I'll just kind of like, encourage myself out loud versus kind of saying it in my head. Music lyrics come into my head a lot, and I'll hear the music as the singer sings it. So thinking my thoughts through before I say something, that is something that I never ever was good at when I was growing up. I constantly get in trouble, especially my mom. She'd try to kind of instill in me, no, you have to think before you speak, because I would often put my foot into my mouth and say something that I probably shouldn't have said. As I grew up, it didn't get better. I didn't think before I spoke. It's almost like I just got better at reading a situation subconsciously and knowing what to say and what to respond with. Because I'm not running things through my mind first, it does kind of lose that filter first, and that kind of contributes to the whole, like, people often know what I'm thinking because I will say exactly what I'm thinking.
That seemed kind of sad. Like that sucks. Like you can't think before you speak. Wow. Yeah, I couldn't be one of them people. That'd sent me in a whole lot of crashes throughout life. Boys just saying some random shit that I'm thinking. You don't want to hear what comes out this brain.
I think it is something that we should know more about, because I think that helps knowing how other people think. You can kind of react better and maybe expect less or more in for a situation, because you can understand how they might be actually thinking in their heads.
I know someone who's really personally close to me who is actually this way. It's pretty scary talking to him. Well, it's not scary. It's just very different, because when I tell him to imagine something, like he can't imagine it. Like imagine that. Like literally, like you literally can't imagine when I say imagine that. Like
Big facts. That's crazy. I was just talking to one of my cousins the other day. We was talking about this exact same thing, and he was letting me know that he couldn't do some of the things. Like wow, that's crazy. And I know him all my life. Like you feel me? Never knew. You feel me? But that's crazy. It's people out here that really don't have an inner monologue.
how does that? What is that about? That's crazy, y'all. So the things that I see that he can't see things from my perspective because he can't imagine what I imagine. Yeah, these people really is this is literally a video game.
So maybe this is a lot of big of the disconnect with certain people. You feel me? You feel me? If that makes sense. Certain people tend to think that we are the same when we're not, and we're thinking that they're. You know what I mean? I don't know how to. That shit's a tricky, but you get what I'm trying to say. You feel me?
And what this means is some of the players are just not real. But what a very interesting time to be alive, because now this is getting very popular and people are finding out about it, y'all. So what do you guys think about this video? You guys ever come across these people? Let us know down in the comments below. Like, share, and follow for more videos like this. Thank you for tuning to my frequency. Let's get this shift, y'all.
And I want to know, when was this first discovered? Like, who was the first ones to discover that they didn't, or that you oh fuck, this is mind-boggling. This is interesting. Drop it down in the comments. Tell me what y'all think about this. Here.
Bro, that is crazy. So you tell them you don't have like a conscious or any intrusive thoughts?
What I say is just what I say.
It doesn't even make any sense. So you telling me when you read aloud?
Yep.
So you're telling me after this conversation, you're not going to go back home and think about this later?
No, sir.
Damn, so you just be saying everything that be on your mind all the time, but you don't got a mind.
All the time. All right.
Oh, damn. Hey, could you grab that for me? Yeah, I got you. Oh my God, man, I just have so many questions.
Damn, that shit fat as fuck.
Embrace it.
Oh, I see what's going on here.
Savor the moment.
He lied.
Been trying to bait you into this trap all day. I finally got you where I want you.
Damn. He got me.
Look where you get your ass up at. I got you right where I want you. Stay still.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
Gosh, you know that little voice inside your head? No. What? Yes, you do. You know, like if you're thinking to yourself, you just hear that little voice just talking to you. You hear voices inside your head? Well, yeah. I mean, it's my own voice, but I can hear it. You don't hear anything? No. So when it's quiet and you're thinking to yourself, you don't hear your own voice? No. So you're telling me you have no internal dialogue? You're telling me that your mind talks to you? Yeah, I mean, it talks to me, it talks to itself. In fact, it argues with me and itself, and it's just a constant chitter chatter and noise. And now I feel like I'm the crazy one when you don't have internal dialogue. Weird. No, it's totally normal. People hear themselves talk all the time. Oh, shut up. No, I didn't say that. Oh my God, you're so annoying. Will you please just leave me alone?
It's been reported that 30 to 50% of the population does not have an inner monologue, aka they don't have conversations with themselves in their head.
This actually blows my mind that
What do you
people
mean?
don't have a voice in their head.
Everybody has a voice in their head.
No, I found this out. One of our friends was like, wait, what are you guys talking about? You have a voice in your head? You guys have conversations with yourself? She doesn't have anything in her head. And it's very obvious because she says everything out loud, even if it's stupid.
That doesn't, you have to, like, you isn't,
yeah, like you don't have thoughts?
Yeah, thoughts.
It's inner monologue. Some people don't have it. It's like
No.
studied in psychology. Yeah.
No, No.
Yeah,
Impossible.
it's mind-boggling to even imagine, but some people really don't have it.
That's impossible.
Can't happen. You're always thinking.
Right.
But some people don't have the inner monologue.
You have to think things to say things.
You have to.
You have to think things to say things.
Like, I wish we could get one of these people on to ask them.
They wouldn't be able to respond. They would have no thoughts, Bree. They couldn't even respond to our questions.
If you're saying they can't think it comes out, that would assume they're just talking out loud all the time.
They would have to be.
Yeah, this is bullshit.
Or they're just sitting there like this.
They're sitting there like,
They have nothing to think. Maybe they're just a little dummy.
Mm.
I gotta find one of these people and talk to them.
I just read a stat that 20 to 50% of people do not have an inner monologue.
So I actually read the same stat yesterday, which is kind of funny. Maybe that's why this popped up on my TikTok. And the even sadder part about that, I have an internal monologue. Like, she is loud. But anyway, the sad part about that, or sadder part about it, is that those people probably don't hear like the voices and the sounds when they read a book. I had a friend put up that fact, because if they can't hear their own inner monologue, they don't hear books. I can't even imagine a life like that. Like, I hear like the crickets, and I can hear the bubbling of the brooks in the books. I hear characters in their own voices. This is just, it's so sad.